Today I messed up by showering in raw sewage. I work the honey wagon at the campground I work at. For those of you that don't know what a honey wagon is, it's a big tank that you haul around to suck out the sewer from people's campers. It's not a glamorous job, but it pays. It was my final stop of the day. It was a single mom with an enormous fifth wheel. She told me that her toilet was very clogged. Basically with camper toilets that just means the tank is so full it's coming up to the toilet. I backed the wagon up to the tank, got all the hoses on, and everything set up. The outlet was underneath the slide out, so I had to get on my ass and slide under there to get to the pipe to connect the sewer hose to. So I'm laying there, I grab the hose, and as I take the cover to the sewer pipe off, gallons of shit water just pours all over me like a river. There was shit in my hair, there was stringy paper and fecal matter hanging out of my beard. I was covered from head to waist in just shit. I turn around to the lady and just go, "That's awesome." She then responds with, "Oh, that's because I pulled the lever to open the tank earlier." I emptied her tank for her, mostly on me, and then went about my way. She never even tipped me or anything. Today I messed up holding it all the way to the bus terminal and ending up popping a hemorrhoid. Thursday, my dumbass woke up late and missed the bus into town. So, I waited for the next bus into town, and of all the rotten weeks I had to make poo-poo. But, I couldn't just turn back home and make poop, my bus was coming. I couldn't hold it, and yet my dumbass had to hold it. I held my shit pipe on the bus all the way to the bus terminal, and when I finally let that do and went to wipe, I had big time blood and shit on the toilet paper on top of a popped blood clot on the toilet paper. I literally tried to go through the day, paying no mind to the fact I was bleeding near my asshole. When I finally made it home, I took a shower because I felt dirty and put on fresh pajamas. When my aunt made dinner and I sat on the chair, and Jesus H. Christ, it looked like I sat on cherries and stained that poor chair. I ate dinner and my aunt took me to the hospital. Nearly 7 fucking hours waiting in the hospital, and my bleeding stopped while I waited. When I finally got seen by a doctor, he told me it wasn't anything serious, it was a hemorrhoid. But my dumbass had to wait an hour and a half more just for the nurse to give me a pill and my discharge papers. I don't recommend waiting in the emergency room while bleeding out the asshole because, with all due respect, emergency room workers really don't act like the namesake of the part of the hospital. Today I messed up by accepting an invitation to a concert. This morning a cute girl invited me to a concert, saying my brother and I have an extra ticket to this concert tonight. I have hung out with them a few times and I've been meaning to ask her out, so I was totally on board. That being said, I don't like the band or even the genre of music, but it was worth it to hang out with her for several hours. I talked to the brother to confirm details and we decided to carpool since the venue is 2 hours away. When he picked me up, there was only him and a random dude I didn't know in the car. Turns out she had a date elsewhere tonight and was trying to get someone to take her ticket. And I didn't find this out until it was too late to bail without being an asshole. Today I messed up by freezing while speaking to a Georgian girl. This happened to me on a family trip 5 days ago in Pamukkale, Turkey. I, 30M, was sitting with my dad at a table at Cleopatra Pool and waiting for the rest of my family to get out of the pool. I wasn't going into the pool since it was hot as hell and the water even hotter. Then the most gorgeous girl I have ever seen anywhere sat down next to me. She caught my eye when I saw her taking photos of artifacts at an archaeology museum minutes earlier. She was probably around 25, wearing a tight black dress, having dark curly hair, the most perfectly done red lips ever. Seriously, I normally consider red lips a kitschy cliché, but this was next level, a true natural beauty with perfect proportions, black eyes, perfect skin. Words cannot describe how hot she was. Just wow. Since my brain was going haywire, I had to leave the table and go for a walk. After a couple of minutes, my dad came to me and said that she was really nice, that she offered him her lunch and spoke to him, but because the name of the country Georgia, where she was supposedly from, has a different name in our language, and because my dad is as bright as Borat, he wanted I go speak to her and somewhat translate what is being said. So I sat back down at the table and just turning my head to her felt like a lifetime. I ask her, "So you're from Georgia, right?" She just answers yes, and I go nice, nicey. Her facial expression mirrored my own with a lag. It was a perfect mixture of forced smile and nervousness, with a pinch of sheer terror on top. I hoped she would still engage in the conversation, but no. I try again after a minute. "The Russians are occupying your country, aren't they?" She again says yes, while I am muttering interesting, interesting. Why did I say that? It is not interesting at all, it is sad and despicable. Awkward silence. She gets up and leaves minutes later saying quiet bye without touching her food as far as I know. So many questions left unanswered. Who is she? What does she do? Does she work or study? Does she travel often? Even yesterday when I was arranging my new work contract at a meeting with my employer, I couldn't stop thinking of her. I have never felt so shattered in my life before, since I know I will never see her ever again. Today I messed up by knocking a third grader's teeth out. I work as a camp counselor for the YMCA and every group leader has a walkie so we can talk to other group leaders to know where everyone is at. Of course the radio I was given has a broken antenna but I had no clue. It easily would just pull off and on but I hadn't touched it so I didn't know that. Well, around lunchtime this third grader named Hunter was standing about 6 feet away from me minding his own business when he looked at me and pretending to throw a baseball. I saw him do it and I turned into a batter's stance and swung my radio by the antenna as hard as I could as if I was swinging a bat. Well, the radio flew off the antenna straight towards Hunter and knocked his 2 front teeth out. Not only did his teeth come out, but since it hit him square, they shot right down his throat. One of them he coughed up but the other one went down all the way. I had to file an accident report and explain to my boss and Hunter's parents what happened. His mom was so angry and upset with me she almost wanted to press charges. His dad told me he wasn't too upset and that's one less tooth he has to buy back as the tooth fairy. All in all it wasn't too bad but I absolutely destroyed that kid's teeth and I pissed off my boss, and the kid's mom.